Welcome, joyful creators and Longmire fans, to Funday Monday, part 33, part 3 of the border on the Longmire Blanket. Today we are going to add embellishment to this top yellow piece of the border and on the bottom. And as you saw in the introduction, our color was chosen today by Roseanne Alexander. She chose color number 3, and on my chart that's cherry red. So whatever your number 3 color is, that's the color you're going to be using. You want to cut 2 strands of that color, and each strand needs to be 240 inches long. Yes, I know that that is a lot of yarn, but as we do our embellishment, you want to try and keep it as one piece of yarn to help with the wear and tear of your blanket. To get started, we're going to do just like we did when we did the arrows on the side. We're going to come into this very top corner of the orange part of the border, and we are going to use this line going up as our starting point, just like we did going across. So when you're in that corner, you want to find the middle row of this section of the border, and you're going to start your X's on the row above the middle row. And just take your time. That's a lot of yarn, and you don't want it getting tangled up. Make sure you leave a little bit for a tail for weaving in. And then you're going to go diagonally upwards, because our whole embellishment is going to be done making X's. And so we're going to complete our X by coming into the top corner, top left corner, and then down into the bottom right corner. And that will complete our first X. This is going to be a repeating pattern, so I will get you started and then I will let you finish going across. We're going to make the second X, and we're going to come right into that top right corner and pull our yarn through. And then come into the bottom left corner go into that top left corner, and then we'll end up taking it diagonally across to the bottom right corner. I just finished my second X of my 7 X's that I'm making. I'm now working on number 3. It just takes a minute right now. That's a lot of yarn to pull through, but of course, the more we work, the shorter that yarn's going to become. And finishing up this third X. And beginning the fourth X. And give your arms a workout. And beginning that fifth X. And remember, we're doing a total of 7 X's. My yarn has knotted up, so I'm going to pause the video and get this unknotted. But in the meantime, go ahead and finish making 7 X's, and then we'll come back and get ready to change the pattern. So from where we pulled through this last one, we're going to come over 1. And that puts us in this particular X's top right corner. And then we're going to come diagonal into that X's bottom left corner. And then we're going to complete that X. And we're going to do 2 more, so we have a total of 3 X's on this row. That completes our first X, and now we need to do our second X. And this completes our second X. And then we will do 1 more for this row to give us a total of 3 X's on this row. So let's start that third X. Work on finishing this third X. And now we're going to change the pattern up again just a little bit. And we're going to come over 1 on that bottom part of the X. And we're going to make an X on the row below. So this puts us pulling the yarn through the top right corner. And we're going to go diagonally into the bottom left corner. And then we're going to come up into that top left corner and go diagonally into the bottom right corner, and that will complete the first X for this row. And we're also going to do a total of 7 on this row. Yanked my work right out of my hands. So I'm just going to work through these X's to give me 7. So go ahead and pause the video and finish making your 7 X's, and then I'm going to put a graph picture up for you to actually visually see what the repeat pattern will be like. So you're going to follow this pattern, and as you can see, you've got 7 X's on the row you started with. Then you drop down to the next row and do 3, drop down to the next row and do 7, then you go up a row and do 3, and your 3s will always be on the same row. Then you'll go up another row and do 7, which is the same row as your starting row, and then you'll come back down and do 3 and then 7, and then you'll go back up and do 3 and do 7. You began with 7 X's, and you will also end with 7 X's. So go ahead and pause the video, and I will meet you when you finish going all the way across the top of this border. Here is the completed look of how that pattern looks when you complete it going across. And this blanket is literally so big that I can't show you all of it in its entirety, but just looking at it, that is the pattern that it creates. And I just absolutely love it. And so going all the way across. This is it. Now we are going to take this same pattern, doing exactly the same thing. So if you need to, rewind the video, but we are going to do the very same thing on the bottom border. Go ahead and do the bottom half of your border, and then we'll come back and close this segment out. Welcome back, everyone. We have finished the bottom half of our border. And so I'm going to slide the blanket, since it is so big, to try and show you. And so here is the bottom, and you can see where it's meeting up with the side with the arrow. Love, love, love that. And we're just going to slide it down. Again, it's big and bulky and heavy. And there's my Lether Co. dragonfly that I put on at the very beginning. Do you remember that? Got that stitch marker in one of the Lether Co. boxes when I was still getting them. And then there we go, and you can see where it meets up with this side. Absolutely love that. And then I'm going to try to slide this down, and there's the top border. So let's see. Here's the bottom, and here's the top. And I just absolutely love that. And you can see the beginning here where we started. There's that first beige arrow that I made. You can see it a lot better as the lighting is a little bit different in here because I'm filming at an earlier part of the day today than I did when I made that video. And then there's the beginning, and then sliding it down. And I just love it. It turned out really, really great. So, well, I'm going to pop a picture of the blanket with all the embellishments on the sides done for you at the very end of this video. And oh my gosh, we have just one more session together for the Longmire blanket, and then it will be done, done, done. So this has been Funday Monday, part 33, part 3 of the border. And next week will be our last Funday Monday on the Longmire blanket because we will be finished. So I look forward to meeting with you and spending time with you next week to finish this blanket up. And until then, stay safe, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, and make your own joyful creations.